Hey guys, this is Dr. David Song at Rehab Hero, and today we're going to go over a mobility flow routine that you can do every morning or night, whatever suits your day the best. So a lot of people have been reaching out to me on Instagram about doing kind of like live action mobility routine. So we're going to go through this together. We're going to target the spines, that means your neck, upper back, mid back, low back, as well as some exercises that you can do to loosen up your shoulders and the hips as well. So we're kind of going for all of the joints that are closer to the center of the body. We're really going to leave out all of your extremities, so to speak. Mostly we're going to target the actual skeleton and some of the joints closer to the actual skeleton, including the hips and shoulders. So first what we're going to do is we're going to start with some cervical rotations. So from here, what we're going to do is just sit on your knees, or go down on your knees, sit on your heels. If you have sensitive knees, you can always put a rolled towel underneath the knees so that you're not directly on the hard floor. Doing these on top of a thick yoga mat is recommended, or other soft surface like a carpet. From here, you're just going to put your hands right beside your knees here, and then you're just going to go for the biggest circles you can create with your neck. And you want to isolate the movement right to your neck. We're going to go for 3 to 5 rotations, depending on how difficult you find this. Okay. Then we're going to go in the opposite direction. So make sure you do both directions. The idea here is to create the biggest circle with your neck and head. Just to loosen up the cervical spine. From here, we're going to do some shoulder rolls for your shoulders. Keep your hands in front of you. Make sure your forearm and upper arm stay as parallel to the ground as possible. And from here, you're going to shrug your shoulders as high up as you can. Then you're going to bring them backwards, downwards, then forwards, kind of creating like the biggest circle you can generate using your shoulders. You want to go nice and slow. And this is an effort-based exercise, which means that you really do get more out of it the more you try to create the largest circle possible. Just like the previous exercise, you want to do 3 to 5 repetitions, okay? And then do both directions. So now we're going to go forwards with our shoulders. And I'm doing both shoulders at the same time here. Trying to maintain your arm as parallel to the ground as possible. And this is to isolate the glenohumeral joint from your scapulothoracic joint. Really, this is a shoulder blade exercise more than anything. From here, we're going to start targeting your thoracic spine. You're going to place one hand onto the floor, place the other one right behind the base of your neck or head. And you are rotate up as far as you can, hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then coming back down. You should feel this in the upper back. And you should feel a lot of muscles you probably haven't really used in a long time. This really targets the spinal rotators. And getting a full range is really about getting your elbow to point directly up to the ceiling. If you have a loose enough neck, you can use your neck to rotate up with your elbow. However, if your neck kind of feels too stiff to do so, it's okay to just keep your neck in a neutral position like I am right now. Or you can look up if you have the mobility. One more. And then back down, we'll switch sides. So left hand right in front of your left knee, right hand right behind the base of your skull and onto your neck, and then rotating back. So you may notice some differences side to side, and that's okay. These are kind of like identifying the baseline of your movement. And you can use that as an outcome measure to determine if you are getting more mobility or not. And this is effort-based, so for me, my right rotation is a bit tougher. So holding it there for the full 5 seconds is a lot more difficult. So I went for shorter repetitions. You want to go at your own pace with these exercises, as well as they will differ side to side. Next, we're going to go into the thread the needle exercise. So from here, you're going to lift your butt off of your heels, and you're going to move them roughly above where your knees are located. From here, you're going to go into kind of like a child's pose position with one arm. So it's outstretched in front of you. Your other arm is going to go underneath and reach forward, and you're continually trying to reach forward. Your head you can place on the ground, so the ground's supporting your neck, so you're not really straightening your neck. You want your neck to be as loose as possible. And then you come back up, and then you do the other side, alternate sides. You just reach out as far as you can. And you should feel this along the back of your shoulder blade into the upper back region. Feel a nice long stretch as you continue to reach forward. So I'm using my right hand, reaching forward with my fingers, spreading my fingers apart, going for max range, and then switching. So we're going to do about 3 to 5 repetitions, reaching forward. So this exercise will work on your glenohumeral joint, scapulothoracic joints. Your thoracic joints, you know, your spinal vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae. Hits all those areas at the same time. And make sure to breathe. So it's really important that you're able to breathe as you reach forward. So you're not straining through the whole body, right? This is a mobility flow. You want to be able to flow through each movement. Breathe. And we'll do one more on each side here. And on the other side. So for this exercise, your foot position doesn't really matter. You could go flat foot like I am right now. You could go on the tips of your toes. It's really all just preference. From here, we're going to transition into a child's pose position. So leaning back, rocking back with your hips until they hit your heels, and then reaching forward with your arms. Your forehead can be supported with the floor. You feel that stretch occurring through your lats, your upper back, low back. You're continually trying to reach forward with your fingers as far as you can. So you're trying to elongate your body while you're in this child's pose position. Good. Come back out. You're just going to come up onto your knees, and we'll do that one more time. Just reaching forward, slide forward as far as you can. Take a few deep breaths. Come back up. Perfect. From here, we're going to transition into your lower back mobility exercises. So we're going to go onto our stomachs here. Okay. Your hands are above. You can use the forearms or your wrist, the back of your forearm, to support your forehead so your face isn't smashing into the ground. You can bend your knees and keep your feet together. Now, this exercise, you want to go as far as you can, tolerate. Within your back, okay? So from here, I'm going to bring my feet to my left, towards the ground on the left, and my right knee will lift off the ground, but my left knee will stay pinned, and I'm going to keep my right shoulder as close to the ground as I can as I transition. Take a few deep breaths, and go to the other side. Nice and easy, no rush. Back over, and again we'll do 3 to 5 repetitions. And you want to hold this position for 3 to 5 seconds as well, right? Be able to breathe through that twist through the back. back over, one more on each side. Try to get that lateral malleolus to touch the floor, that bony part of your ankle, on the outer aspect of your ankle. And switch sides. Keeping your shoulders pinned to the floor as much as possible. And I'm going to finish there for that exercise. Next, we're going to loosen up your body in more of the sagittal plane. So you'll need a bit more space for this exercise. So what you're going to do is lie down on your back. You're going to tuck your knees up towards your chest. Pull it in. And as you come back up, spread your legs. Reach forward, reach forward. Okay, you're just going to repeat this exercise. Tuck. Feel that low back spread apart. Hips can rise off the ground. Spread out, lean forward. So here you should feel it in your groin and inner thigh, targeting your hip adductors, even your hamstrings, the medial hamstrings. Come back in. Last one. Come back up. Reach forward. Good. Next, we're going to loosen up some of your hip rotators. We're going to do the 90-90 exercise. So you're going to support yourself, keep your back straight, pelvis down on the floor, hands supporting your body, feet bigger than about shoulder distance, if not a little bit more apart. Then you're just going to come down into a 90-90 position, tap the floor with your knee. So right now your right knee should be targeting the floor. You should feel this in the outer aspect of your right hip. You're going to come back up, transition to the other side, try to tap the floor. Minimize as much movement as you can. That's going through your torso. If you can't reach the floor, that's okay. That's just your mobility level for the day. Right? We're going to go for 3 to 5 repetitions each side, appreciating the stretch in the outer hip. We want to hold it for 3 to 5 seconds. Switching to the other side. Back up. Last one. So if you feel like you're responding really well to this exercise, feel free to do a few more repetitions. Each side, side to side. Good. We're going to transition to the world's greatest stretch. So from a kneeling position, you're going to go into a split squat. You're going to lean forward. So you're going to feel this. If your left leg's in front, you should feel this in the right hip flexor. In the trail leg, you're going to lean down with your hand. That hand is going to be about shoulder distance from your foot. From here, you're going to now reach up forward with the left arm. Still appreciating the stretch in the right hip flexor. You should be feeling a stretch also into the left hamstring and glute region. Come back down. We're going to transition. From here, bring the other leg up. Feel the stretch in the hip flexor, feel the stretch in the right hamstring. Reach up. Now you should also be feeling your upper back muscles, rotating that spine upward. Look up with your neck if you can. If you can't, keep your neck neutral. Do whatever you can handle for the day. Go for 2 more of these on each side. Again, you could go for 5 repetitions if you want. If you want to go for a few more, that's up to you. There are no hard set guidelines on what or how many you can do, because it all really depends on your specific limitations. Some people might have a lot easier or a much easier time going through these exercises. Some others might have a harder time. It's all based on your perceived level of exertion and the amount of effort that you feel that you need to put into it. The higher the effort, the fewer the reps, the easier it is, the more reps you can do. Okay, one more, switching sides. Reach up. Last exercise we're going to go over today is for the lateral line of your thigh and fascia. So you're going to start by going into a push-up position. You're going to bring one leg to the side of you, and then you're going to just drop down onto the floor. You'll feel your outer hamstring, the outer part of your right hip. Come back up. Sweep across, sweep to the other side, and repeat. So try to keep your spine as neutral as possible in terms of flexion and extension. It will rotate in this exercise, which is fine. Just want to make sure you're not slouching through the back as you do this exercise. There'll be a little bit of side bending, which is okay. Come up, you go to the other side. Drop your hip down. Feel that stretch on the outer thigh, outer hamstring, into your hip abductors, abductors. Come back up. One more. And down. So this will also work on your lumbar spine. There's no way that movement's not occurring at the lumbar spine. It is moving. And back up. And we're going to finish there for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick mobility routine. If you found this information useful, be sure to check out our page on Instagram at Rehab Hero. And make sure to click and subscribe to our YouTube account and channel for more content. If you want to see other types of mobility flows for specific things, such as a mobility flow to optimize your squat, be sure to leave a comment in the comments section below and let us know what you want to see. Cheers.